Hello, welcome to Radiant Resilience. I'm Torrey. In this video, I will lead you through a well-rounded, full-length yoga practice with a slight emphasis on releasing the low back. So if you've got anything going on with your low back, hopefully at the end of this class, things will feel a little bit better. I will also get into the neck a little bit, as well as calves and Achilles tendon area. As always, keep yourself safe. Make sure that you're modifying or skipping something that you know is not working for you. And as far as props go, if you know you like to use blocks for your lunges, you might have those handy. And even if you don't have a block, you could use maybe like a little step stool, just so you can get your hands up a little bit higher, because we are going to work into our hamstrings some, and that can be helpful. And if you need a little bit of padding underneath your knees, have something available and close at hand for that. All right, so we are going to get started. Go ahead and come down to the mat, or if you prefer to stay seated, you can, for this little bit of breathing work that we're going to do. So coming into what feels comfortable for you, I prefer to come into constructive rest pose. My spine and my back has a chance to soften here. And then take a great big sigh. Allow your breath to flow easily as you observe it. So you're not trying to control it at this point. And now start to let your belly move with your breath. And then make the breath even bigger. As you inhale, expand in every direction. Feel your rib cage moving out to the sides on the inhale. And as you exhale, just relax everything to allow the exhale to release in a passive way. Inhale fully. Allow the exhales to be easy, long, and slow. And then bring some short, comfortable pauses in between the inhales and exhales. And notice the stillness within each of those pauses. All right. And then after you finish this next exhale, move through another sigh. Now, if you are seated, come down to the floor or your mat as we move our fingers and our toes. And then once you come down to the mat, come into constructive rest pose. Feet flat on the floor, knees are bent, arms away from your sides at a comfortable angle for your shoulders, palms facing up. Now we're going to move through our hips a little bit. So as we move through the hips and the low back, it will start to soften up, and the hips and glutes connect into the back, so all of it will help the low back as well as your hips. So first we're just going to start with some very gentle rocking of the hips. And the way I want you to do that, instead of moving your knees side to side, I want you to think of pressing your right foot gently into the floor and moving that knee forward or towards the foot edge of your mat. And then you'll relax. And then gently press left foot in as you move the left knee forward. So you're just going to go side to side with this. And just by moving the legs in this fashion, you'll feel your hips kind of rocking gently side to side. And And obviously your knees will go a little bit side to side, but the real action is the forward motion of the knee, and that brings movement into the hips. All right, now come back to your center and sigh. Slide the arms out to a T position. Inhale, and as you exhale, hug yourself with your right arm on top. Hands are on your shoulders. And now we're going to move the elbows side to side. So as you're doing this, you'll feel your upper body coming into a little twist, rocking side to side. Okay, now come center, and now we're gonna, let me think about this. You're gonna move your elbows to the right, slide your right knee forward, and then switch. Elbows left, right, left knee goes forward. So we're creating a really subtle twisting in our spine. Releasing our upper back some as well as the low back. Okay, now come back to center. Arms open back out. Hug with the other arm on top. So now it'll be your left arm on top. And then move your elbows left as your left knee slides forward. And then switch. So we're just going to go side to side here. Good. And again, your knees might be going a little bit side to side, but the real intention here is for them to go forward. Okay, and then come back. Arms back, open back out to your super comfortable angle and take another side. Now, we're going to come into some little hip tilts on your inhale. Tilt the hips so that your tailbone presses down and your low back is lifting up off the floor. And then exhale, press the low back down, and the tailbone has the intention of curling up towards the ceiling. Now, as you're doing this, rocking here, try to resist using your legs. So instead of pushing your feet into the floor to curl the tailbone up, I just want the movement to happen from your core strength. So the tailbone's not really lifting up here. It's just kind of moving in that direction. And then as the tailbone presses down into the floor, think of that as your 6 o'clock position. As the tailbone curls up and the low back presses down, that's your 12 o'clock position. So we're just going to go a few more times here and visualize your sacrum, your hip area, like a clock face down. So you're moving back and forth from your 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock position. Now stop in 12 o'clock and doing that same movement with your knees. So one knee goes forward. You're going to go around to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2 more full circles in that direction. And again, you might find knees want to go a little bit side to side, but try to instead make this circle happen by moving one knee forward and then switching. Once you've gone 3 times one direction, reverse your circles slowly 3 times in the other direction. And I'm on number 2, and then we'll go all the way around to finish up that 3rd circle or that 3rd clock face. And then once you get back up to 12 that last time, relax everything for one more sigh. Good. From there, take a breath in. As you exhale, give your knees a hug and rock side to side. And then you might start to make circles going in the same direction with your knees. And now go the other direction. Bringing your knees back into center, open the knees apart, circle them around and bring them back together. Reversing your knee circles, moving through your biggest range of motion that is not painful. And then coming back into the center. Keep the knees up towards your chest, but open them wider so the soles of your feet come together. And then slide your hands down your shins, calves, towards your ankles or feet. Reach down as low as you can go. And then pull the feet gently towards your face. Now don't go so far that you feel your tailbone lift up. You want the tailbone long, pull the knees or the feet towards you. And you're welcome to stay right here if this feels good, or you might separate feet coming into a happy baby position. Still, the tailbone remains long. You can stay center and breathe, or you might rock. And then if you are rocking, make your way to the middle and take one more breath in and out here. Good. Bring the soles of the feet back together, and you're going to hold on to the ankles or as far down as close to the ankles as you can go. Soles of the feet stay together, but now you're going to lower the feet so that the legs act as a weight, pulling your arms long, and then rock your head slowly side to side. So we're creating a little neck stretch here by using the weight of the legs to pull the shoulders down, so to speak. And then head comes center. Bring your knees back into center. Place the hands to the backs of your thighs. Flex your feet. Breathe in. Exhale. Reach the legs up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bend. So we're going to pump our legs, straighten and bend. Good. The next time you bring your legs to a long position, hold them there. You can either hold the legs or reach up with your arms. Point and flex your feet, and then move through your wrists. Palms up, palms down. Fingers and toes are spreading out if you're reaching up with the arms. And then make soft fists with your hands. Rotate your ankles and your wrists. And rotate the other direction. Flex your feet, spread out the toes, shake out the hands. Knees back into your chest, and then set the feet down on the floor. Arms down by your sides, turn your palms to face up. Press your shoulders down, exhale. On your inhale, we're going to roll up into our bridge. So we're going to take a little bit of time here. Make sure you're only going up as high as works for you. You might walk your shoulder blades in. Now check in. Low back is a lengthening, tailbone lengthening towards your knees. If you're feeling any discomfort or pinching in the low back or in the knees, walk your feet forward a little bit. An inch or two. That'll give you a little more space to lengthen the tailbone, and it might take some pressure out of the knees. And then notice, I want you to feel your glutes working. I want you to feel your hamstrings working. If you're not feeling the hamstrings, gently, without moving the feet, pull your heels towards your shoulders. Whoa, that changes it. I wasn't doing that. And then I also want you to feel inner and outer thigh working. So if you're not feeling your outer thigh working, just the inner thigh, keep your feet where they are and move your knees about a centimeter further apart. If you're only feeling outer thigh and not inner thigh, keep the feet where they are and bring the knees about a centimeter closer together so that eventually you'll feel both sides of the thighs working here. All right, take one more breath in, and then on your exhale, slowly release all the way back down. Give yourself a sigh. Slide arms out to a T. Breathe in, and as you exhale, come into some easy twists here. Knees go one direction, head goes the other way. Inhale as you come center, exhale as you twist. As you come into your next twist, stop there and sigh. Come through center, other side, and sigh again. Back to center, and then place right ankle to your left thigh. Press your right thigh open up by the crease of the hips. So as I mentioned, glutes and hips affect your low back. So as we work into these hip stretches, you might find that your low back feels a little better too. And then release that press coming into your figure four pose. So you can keep the left foot on the floor. You can step it onto your block or bring the knee up, hands or a strap going around your left thigh. Flex your right foot and you can move the legs side to side. Even if you kept the foot on the floor, move legs side to side and you'll notice you get a little more intensity as you move in one direction. So find where it feels best to stop and breathe there. Good. Release that side. And now left foot's on the floor. You have a couple of options here. First option is to cross the right thigh all the way over the left thigh. And then you'll heel toe your left foot over to the left edge of your mat. Hips stay planted. Left knee pulls the right leg to the left. So we're creating a little stretch here. That's option one. Option two is to keep the thighs crossed, but bring the knees up. And then maybe slide your hands down towards the ankles and give them a little pull towards your shoulders. So you have two options there. Choose which one feels right for you. All right, now we're going to go the same sequence on the other side. First, start with your ankle on your left ankle on your right thigh. Press your left thigh open by your hip crease. Release that press, figure four pose, whatever option works for you, and then rock your legs side to side. Find your best stopping place, breathe right there. As we come out of figure four pose, set the right foot down, cross the left thigh all the way over, and then you can heel toe, right foot to the right, hips stay planted, right knee pulls the left leg to the right as well. Option one. Option two, legs stay crossed, knees come up, and maybe slide your hands down towards your feet and give them a little pull towards your shoulders. Releasing that left knee to the chest, right foot either on the floor or right leg long on the floor, and sigh. And then bring the right knee up, transfer your hands over to that knee, left foot on the floor or left leg long, and sigh again. Both legs long, arms stretching up over your head. Inhale, full stretch, push out through your heels of your hands and feet. Exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch out again. This time, point your toes, reach out through your fingertips, and release. One more time, choose which one felt the best. Beautiful. Walking the feet back to the floor, and then hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. All right, from here we're going to come on to our side. Now we did work or stretch out kind of the back and side of our hips. Now we're going to work into the front of the hip a little bit more. So you want your head to be supported by your bottom arm. Top knee comes into your chest, and then you're going to slide your hand down towards your foot. Now, if you can't do that comfortably, put a strap or even a towel around your foot to hook it and hold it. And then we're going to do a little flossing here. So you're going to bring the leg back and bring it forward and bring it back and forward. So we're working into our quads, our hip flexors. And, we hear a lot about our sciatic nerve, which kind of runs down the back. There's another nerve called the femoral nerve that runs more in the front of the hip. And sometimes with all the stuff that's going on there, it can get kind of pinched or compressed. And so we're just trying to release that. Now, what you can do as you're flossing the leg is to bring the knee forward and kind of bring your forehead forward, and then bring the knee back and kind of look back behind you. That will just increase that flossing range for you, if that's comfortable for you. All right. Now, the next time you bring the leg back, if you're looking back, pause there for a breath. And then bring your head to neutral, one more breath. Release, give your knee a hug. Rock onto your back, rock side to side. And then we're going to do the other side. I'm going to swing around so that my back isn't to you. Support your head with your bottom arm. And then top knee to the chest, slide the hand down. And then we're going to move the leg forward and back. We'll just start without moving the head, just to get things working through our range. Okay, now if you'd like, you can add the head movement. So knee and forehead come towards each other, and then knee goes back, and you look back with your head. Knee in, and back, and in. One more. As you look back, pause right there, take a breath in and out. And then keep the leg back, but bring your head to neutral. One more breath. Release, give the knee a hug. And then press your way all the way up to seated. Once you come to seated, if you're needing a little height under your hips to help you sit tall, take a moment to get that set up. And then we'll bring the hands onto the knees. Inhale your chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then exhale, round back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round back. And again, come forward and round back. Once there, stack the spine all the way up. Release your hands, roll your shoulders. And then move your shoulders separately, like you're doing a backstroke with the shoulders. Rib cage is moving too, which helps release our upper back some, and it stretches out those little intercostal muscles between your ribs to help us with our breathing. And on your next inhale, shrug shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down. One more time, shrug up. Drop down. Drop the chin down to the chest. Press the tongue into the roof of the mouth and try to keep your forehead and your eyebrows neutral. That's always a challenge for me, but you're going to press your tongue into the roof of your mouth. Gaze turns upward, and then lift your chin up. Gaze down, chin goes down. And again, up and down. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. One more. And down. Take a sigh. Slide your chin over to your right collarbone. Press your left hand down more. Shoulder down more. And go through center into your left collarbone. Right hand and shoulder go down more. Good. And then bring your chin back down center. Now roll your head, ear to the shoulder. Forward, other side. Okay, the next time you bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, stay there, nod your head. Very subtle head nods here. And then we're going to stop at the side, and we're going to do 3 lion's breaths. Instead of sticking your tongue out towards your chin, I want you to stick it out and down towards the floor. So our tongue muscles connect into our jaw and our neck, so that will all be affected there. Deep breath in. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. One more. Good. Release. Forehead or chin forward over to your other side. Little head nods on this side. And then stop. Now we'll do 3 lion's breaths here. Breathe in. And chin forward to your chest. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your head upright. Interlace your fingers. Breathe in. As you exhale, press your palms forward. And then inhale, bring your chest all the way up. Let's just go side to side here. Now, if holding your arms up like this doesn't feel good, you could do elbows instead. Good. And then come back, reach the arms up, breathe in. As you exhale, roll everything down. Shoulders roll up, back and down. And then we're going to use our hands to support our torso weight. And you want to stay straight. Chin stays tucked, back of the neck stays long, just hinge forward. So getting back into those hips a little bit instead of the low back. So if you're rounding, you're going too far. I want you to keep your spine really straight so the hinge is at the hips and the low back is neutral. If you feel like you want a little extra into that hip, walk the toes that are in front, walk your hands in the direction they're pointing. And you might even just go just a tiny bit. And then come center and press up. Now we'll switch our leg cross and do the same thing. Coming forward. See how that's feeling? And then you might walk in the direction of your front toes. Good. Come back up and center. Lean back onto your hands. Bring your legs out in front of you so you're behind your sits bones, and move your knees side to side so we're just massaging out our glutes. Okay, we're going to flip around and come up into our table position. So if you know you use blocks for your lunges, bring your blocks to each side of your mat at the front, or if you're using a step stool, just have it kind of at the one side so you can reach it when you need it. And also, if you're padding the knees, get that set up as well. All right, now we're going to come into some cat-cows. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, round your back. Inhale, arch, and round, and arch one more time. Round, and arch. Good. Come back to a neutral spine. Stretch your right leg out behind you. Bring your push toes under, push back through your heel, and we're going to flow with this. So I mentioned Achilles and calf. So here's where we're working that a little bit. Inhale the heel forward. Exhale, press back. Come forward, press back. What's your head doing? Is it hanging? If so, press the back of the head up so it stays in line with your shoulders. One more time, forward, press back. Hold that press if you'd like. You could bring your left knee off the floor here too. Good. Knee comes down, and we'll come back to both knees. Other side, stretch the leg back, toes under, push back through your heel. Coming with me with your breath, inhale the heel forward, exhale it back. Bring it forward, push it back. One more time. Now as you push back, hold right here if you'd like. You could bring a left or a right knee off the floor. All right, from there we're going to come into our plank. So if you need to change this, going down to elbows or knees, do so. Press the back of the head up, smooth out your breath. Now we're going to come down to the floor in your best way. So maybe that's dropping the knees and rolling down. Maybe you drop the knees and go down into a modified plank, or you might be able to stay in a full plank as you lower. I'll demonstrate knees and come down. If you are on a knee pad, you might need to move it out of the way just for comfort's sake. Arms down by your sides, palms facing the floor. Now we're going to engage our glutes and our core, excuse me, to keep our low back stable and supported. So first, tailbone glides down. Now, if you don't know how that feels, think of kind of a gentle tucking of the tailbone. You don't want to tuck it a ton, but that's kind of the direction. The tailbone's going as you're scooping your navel in and up, and then engage your glutes. We really want to engage our glutes. There's this whole thing in our society where we don't really work our glutes enough or properly, and so other muscles have to take over to compensate. So I'm trying to get everybody to get their glutes fired up. So give them a little poke, make sure you're feeling them working, and then toenails are pressing into the floor. From there, move the shoulders away from the floor and start to lift your heart up. Chin should not be leading. You're going to bring it tucked in. Maybe lift the hands off the floor. Now, only if this feels okay on your back, you're going to lift the legs up without losing that tuck. Navel in, glutes working. So that means you don't have to go very high. Keep it low and long. Still working the strength of the back plane of your body without compressing the low back. Breathe right here. And then hands under your forehead. Release your way down to the floor. Big sigh right here. Wiggling your hips side to side. And then bend your knees. Feet go side to side. Lengthen out the legs. Come up into your table pose. Replace your knee pad if you need to. Breathe in as you exhale, round your back. Inhale, arch, and again, round and arch. Back to neutral spine. Walk your hands forward. Coming into puppy pose, I'm going to give you two options here. First one, hips are up, heart melts, forehead's on the mat. Arms are stretched long in front of you, but make your hands as wide as they need to go to keep your shoulders happy. Lift outside edges of the shoulder blades up, and you might even work up onto your fingertips so your palms are off the floor. That's option one. Option two is to start on your elbows in your table pose. Let your heart melt from there. Hands are together, and then you might be able to lift your hands or off the floor so you're just on the elbows. Slightly different feeling in the shoulders. Both are good. You choose which feels best. One more breath. And then release your way back into your child's pose. Move your arms in the place that feels best for them. You can stay center, or you might choose to rock a little bit side to side. And then make your way to the middle and sigh. Good. Stretch your hands forward. Coming back up to table. All right, we're going to work our way into our lunges. So if you are using your blocks, I'll show you with blocks. You don't have to use them, but I'll show you just in case you're not sure exactly what to do with them. So you're going to come up onto your blocks. Now you can come all the way up to this high point. What I find though is some people don't feel real stable in that high point. So if that's the case, go down a little lower. You'll have a wider base and you'll feel a little more stable. Walk your hands a little bit to the left to step your right foot forward. And then we're going to bring the hips forward, knee over your ankle, just like this. And now we're going to flow with this. So you're going to go back with your hips, toes lift, and come forward. So this is where you might want height underneath your hands. Maybe a step stool or a chair seat. If you don't have either one of those, and when you bring your leg to that long position behind you, your spine should be straight again. So if you don't have something to put your hands on and the floor is too low, go to your hips. It means you have to work a little bit more on balance, but I'd rather you do that then to put pressure into your low back. All right, we're gonna come one more. As you go back, turn your toes side to side. And right now you're keeping your hips pretty still, but now I'm going to have you allow your hips to kind of move as your toes move. Okay, and then toes straight up for a breath. Good. Walk your hands forward. Bring the front foot to the floor, back into your lunge. Bring right hand to the right knee, lengthen out through the spine. Come into your little twist here. And then untwist. Now the right hand comes down to the floor or the block just inside your right foot, so the arm and the leg are kind of pressing into each other, and stretch your left arm up. Good. From there, again, this is where you might want some height. Back toes tuck under. Lift your back knee up, and we're going to dip it down and straighten it. And dip it down, straighten. One more time, dip it down and straighten. Now we're going to change this up. Straighten the front leg and bend. Again, height can help here underneath your hands. And we'll go 2 more. Out and in. Last one. Out and in. Good. Now, if you'd like, you can drop your back knee to the floor or keep the knee lifted, stepping back either to your table or plank. If you came to table first, then find your plank. Take 2 more breaths here. And then you can return to either puppy pose, that option we did just a little while ago, or you can lift up into a down dog. And if you come to down dog, maybe pedal your feet a bit. And then as you're pedaling, go a little wider with your feet and turn your toes in so your heels are wider than your toes. And then come towards center again. Now we're going to change something up a little bit. So turn your right toes out. Set the foot down. Keep your right knee straight as you bend your left knee and push the outside edge of your right foot into the floor. Just see what that does. And then revert, release, toe forward. Now we're going to turn out the left foot. Left leg stays straight. Outside edge of the left foot pushes down into the floor as you bend your right knee. And see how that feels. Good. And then come back. Come to table, even if you're in puppy pose, and then back into your child's pose inside. Coming back to table, and now we're going to do our lunge sequence on the other side. So get your blocks set up. If you're using them, walk them a little to the right, stepping your left foot forward. As your hips come forward, just check in with the knee over the ankle. And then you might have to walk your hands back a little bit as we start to flow with this. Back and forward. And back and forward. As you come forward, maybe lift the chest up a bit. And then push back, spine stays straight. Okay. Now, as you bring your leg back, or your hips back, leg is straight, you're going to stay there and turn your toes side to side. Trying to keep your hips pretty still for right now. And now, make that toe movement bigger. Let your hips go along for the ride. All right, toes straight up. Take a breath in and out. And then we'll work our way back to our lunge. Bring left hand to the left knee as you twist. Maybe reach the left arm up. Left hand comes down to the block or the floor just inside the left foot, so the knee and the arm are touching. and then reach the right arm up and come on back. Back toes tuck under, lift the back knee up, and we're going to bend it and straighten it. Bend, straighten, one more time, bend and straighten. Now changing it, straighten the front leg and bend it. Spine stays straight, sits bones reaching back and up. Two more, straighten and bend. Now we're going to come into a straight position and we're going to change this up again. So you're going to go from here, walk your hands to the right, turn your toes forward. Hands can be on your blocks or on the floor. Take a breath in, exhale, maybe fold down. Deep breath in and out. And then come back up to that halfway point. Bend your knees a little bit, ease your hands onto your thigh bones, right up at the very top of the bone. Push the thigh bones back as you lengthen out through the top of your head. Breathe in, let it go, and come on up. While you're up here, let's just move our knee pad off to the side. I'm going to move these off to the side as well so they're not in our way. Once you come up, we're going to turn your toes out just a little bit, and then we're going to reach the arm up, breathe in, and as you exhale, bend and pull the elbow down. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, pull down. And again, come up and pull down. Last time, up and pull down. Come to straight. We'll do the other side. Stretch up, pull the elbow. Last one. And come up. Toes turn forward. Turn out the right toes, setting up for our warrior two. Adjust your foot width if needed. Bend the knee. Once you're there, stretch the arms out. Check in, knee down the center line of the foot, stopping over your ankle instead of over the toes. Drop your hands just a little bit, and now we're going to make a fist with our thumbs inside the fist and pull the elbows down. Or not the elbows, the hands, the wrists down and release. And pull them down, release, and again, down and release. Lengthen out the hands. Hands come to hips. Straighten the right leg, push the ball of the right foot down. Exhale, tilt at the hips, coming into a triangle. And come up. We're going to flow with this. Bend, straighten, exhale, tilt. Inhale up. And again, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, tilt. This tilt will hold. Hands can stay where they are or stretch the arms long. Make sure you're light on that bottom hand. Breathe right here. Now, looking down, bend the knee. Hand can be down on the floor or the block, or elbow or hand on the thigh. Sweep the other arm down towards the floor in front of you. Cross in front of your face. Stop next to the side of your head. Stretch out through your left side, all the way from your heel to your fingers. And then sweep the arm down. Warrior two. Breathe in, exhale, bring the left hand to the hip, reach the right arm up. Come back, hands to hips, straighten the leg, toes turn forward, other toes are going to turn out, bend the knees, arms stretch out. Now, we had the palms facing down when we did that little wrist thing. Now I want you to turn the palms up. Thumbs inside the fist, and then curl the wrists up. And release, curl up, release one more time, curl up, and release, lengthen out the fingers, arms come back. Hands to hips, Straighten the leg, breathe in, exhale, tilt. Inhale, come up, bend, straighten, and tilt. Upright, one more time, bend, and straighten. Now we'll tilt, hold this tilt, hands can stay on hips or stretch arms long. Look down, bend the knee, hand can be down on the floor of the block or elbow and hand on thigh. Slide the arm down to the floor, cross in front of your face, stop next to the side of your head. Breathe. Arm comes down, back to your warrior two, and then right hand to the hip, reach the left arm up. And come up. Toes turn forward, heel toe, your feet, all the way in, or you can jump in. Good. From there, we're going to come into a little thing that's, I call it the fall and catch. It's practice coming off balance and then catching yourself and righting yourself. So the idea here is that if you do lose your balance in everyday life, this is an automatic response to catch yourself. So you can bring your hands to your hips or you can keep your arms out. We're going to take the left leg, step it out. And when you land, I want you to land back in your heel, knee bent, hips back. And then you're going to push off to come in. So we're just going to stay on that side. So not only is this good practice to catch yourself, right yourself, it strengthens our leg. You might feel your breathing get a little quicker, your heart rate might go up. Now, after doing this for a little bit, this might feel easy to you, so you can add a little knee lift, a little extra challenge to your balance. All right, and then come back. Take a breath in, let it go. We'll do the other side. Step out, catch yourself, push back in, catch, and push. So one of the ways you can progress this is by stepping into different directions. We're not going to do that right now, but that's something you could do on your own if you felt like you would need it. Okay, now we'll maybe add the knee lift. Good. One more time. Now this time as you step out, stay there, push off your other foot, and come back in. Turn to face the edge of your long edge of your mat, or the short edge of your mat, arms down, roll shoulders back, big sigh. Eyes open, inhale, reach arms up, exhale, lower, inhale, come up, whoop. Exhale, lower. This one we're going to hold just a bit longer. Hands to heart, heels drop, take a sigh. Arms release down, inhale, arms sweep up. Now as we fold forward, if you have stuff going on with your low back, maybe stop at halfway, or you can go forward if that's safe for you. Inhale, back up to halfway. Exhale, lower, fingers reach back. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do that again, adding on. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, lower down. Fingers reach back. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, lower down. Weight back into your heels, coming into your chair pose. Now, a lot of times when our hands are together like this, our shoulders want to roll forward. So open the chest. Transfer your weight into your left foot. I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to slide the right foot out, lift, bring it in, light on the toes. Slide, lift, lower, slide in. Two more. Out, up, down, in, out, up, down, in. Back to both feet, other side. Out, up, down, in. Out, up, down, in. Two more. Out, up, down, in. Last time. Out, up, down, in. Back to both feet. Strongly push your heels into the floor as you straighten the legs. Inhale, arms stretch up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Lower back down, bend your knees. Walk your hands forward to a table, but the knees are lifted off the floor. So I call this bear pose, and your knees are off the floor. So just pull your hands and feet towards each other. If you notice you're really rounded in your back, try to flatten that out a little bit. Great overall body strengthener. Legs are working, core is working, arms are working. Big breath in, let it go. Ease the knees down, release the toes, breathe in, exhale round, inhale arch, back to neutral. Right leg stretches out, toes touch gently on the floor, left arm comes forward, and then maybe lift the right foot. Breathe right here. Now, left arm reaches back, right knee bends. So if this is as far as you can go, you're just going to stay right there. Otherwise, you're going to find your hand to your foot. If you need to set the knee down to find the foot, do that. Push your foot into your hand. Breathe here. Now with control, we're going to release, lengthening out the leg, stretching the arm forward. Back to both hands and knees. Wag your hips side to side. Come center, stretch left leg long, toes touching. Right arm stretches forward, and then you might lift the foot up, and we'll breathe right here. Okay, reach back with the right arm, bend the left knee. If you can't touch, that's okay. You can hang out right here. Otherwise, you can grab your foot. If you need to set the knee down to grab the foot, do that. Push the back of your head back. So you're not hanging, you're back. And breathe. And then lengthen the leg, reach the arm forward. Breathe in and out. Back to both hands and knees. Breathe in, exhale, round. Inhale, arch. One more time. Round, arch, child's pose, and sigh. All right, coming back up to table. We're going to come in to thread the needle. Reach the right arm up into the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale it up. Exhale, bring it through. One more time, reaching up and reaching back, setting your shoulder down on the floor. Now, if this is where you want to stay, you're going to stay there. If it doesn't feel good, you might try coming back into a child's pose with the arm threaded. If you want to take this a bit further, we're going to stretch first. We're going to stretch the left arm forward, looking under your shoulder towards the ceiling. Weight is even on the knees for right now. I'm going to add steps. You only go as far as you want to go. If you're going the next step, you're going to reach the left arm up, wrap it around your back, roll the shoulder open. You might hook your fingers over the right thigh. Okay, next step, shift your weight to your right knee. Reach your left leg long, toes are going to touch. And then after that, if you feel you're able to, maybe lift the leg up. The idea is to find that balance between effort and ease. If you do happen to roll over, you're close to the floor, so you'll be okay. Make sure you're breathing. All right, We're going to come out of it, reversing our steps. Knee down, hand to the floor, reach right arm up, and bring it down. Other side, left arm stretches up, exhale, thread it through, and come up, through, last time, reach up, thread it through, coming onto your shoulder. Remember, you have the option of dropping your hips back into a child's pose. Maybe stretch the right arm forward, look under your shoulder, up at the ceiling. Weight even on the knees. Taking this to the next step, you would wrap the right arm around, roll the shoulder open. Adding on, lengthen out what is this? Your right leg, toes are touching, or lift the leg up. Remember to breathe. Jaw soft, chin is tucked just a little bit. Okay, we're going to reverse this. Knee comes down, hand comes down, sweep the left arm all the way up, and bring it down. Back to a puppy pose or down dog. And back to a child's pose. If you want, you can have a wider child's pose, big toes together, knees a little wider, giving you space to drop in between the knees. That doesn't work for everybody's hips though, so go narrower if you need to. And then roll your way all the way up. And we're going to flip around to come to the floor. Once we come down to the floor, if you do have a block, you can use that here underneath your hips. If you don't have a block, you could roll up a towel or bring a pillow underneath you, or you can just do this without a prop. So if you're doing it without a prop, you're going to come into a bridge pose. If you have a prop, slide it underneath your hips, and I would say keep your block low height as you drop it down widthwise across the hips. So once you drop your hips down, check if you need to move your block forward or up the back at all to find where it feels right for you. And this might be where you stay. You could stay in a supported bridge right here, pushing the shoulders down, lifting the heart up. If you're staying in a bridge, you could go to medium height even, if that's comfortable for you. I don't suggest the highest height though. All right, from there, shoulders down, hearts lifting. We're going to keep the hips neutral as we bring the legs up and then stretch the legs to the sky. So you could just let your legs kind of hang out up there, but I want you to have activity. So you're actively stretching your legs up towards the ceiling. Breathe. This is a nice way to get benefits of shoulder stand without the risks of a full shoulder stand. All right, from here, bend the knees. Now you can let the shoulders relax just a little bit as you bring your right knee to your chest, set the left foot down on the floor, and then start to go long with your left leg, keeping the heel on the floor. And as you go long, really flex the left foot and push out through that heel. Give yourself a sigh. And then if you'd like, stretch the left arm up alongside your ear. So you're stretching out through your whole left side, heel to fingers. And then bring the left arm back in, slide the left foot to the floor, and bring the knee up. Transfer your hands just to the left leg, knee to the chest. Right foot comes down, and then go as long as you're able to go with your right leg, heel on the floor. Flex the foot, push out through your heel. And then you might stretch right arm up alongside your ear, reaching out through the right heel all the way up through your right fingertips. Bring the right knee back or right hand back in, slide the right foot to the floor, and then bring both knees up to your chest. Now, if you have a really dense block, like a wood or cork block, this might feel too hard, too dense underneath you. Come off the block if that's the case. Otherwise, we're gonna hug knees in tight enough to feel your tailbone lift and curl up so that the edge of your block is pressing into the top edge of your hips. And there's a lot of connection points, trigger points right here, and you might just rock side to side if this feels good. If it doesn't, rock hugging your knees on the floor instead. And then come center, sigh. Ease feet down, move the block, set the hips down. Take a breath in, sigh it out. And then nice, easy twists, side to side. As you're doing these twists, just check, is there one more pose, one more stretch, anything that you might feel you're needing just to finish off your practice? And that it could be anything. No wrong answers here. Take a moment to move through any of those movements you need, and then set yourself up for final relaxation. And as you're doing that, remember, you do not have to stay on your back. If there is a different position that would feel even better to you. And then once you're there, give yourself 2 or 3 sighs. Each one of those sighs soften a little more. And then let the breath go. Let your breathing just happen without worrying about it. Let your bones get heavy and your skin soften. Eyes relax, eyelids soften, brow, forehead release. Tongue rests gently at the roof of the mouth with your lips and jaw soft. Allow your breath to flow easily. Nothing needed of you except for just to be here right now in this moment with your breath. And now breathe into your belly. Relax it out. Breathe in belly, low ribs. Let it go. Breathe in belly, ribs, upper chest. Let it go. When you're feeling ready, bring movement back into your body. And then if you are still lying down, roll onto your side for a sigh. And then bring yourself up into a seated position. Once you've come to seated, bring your hands together at your heart and nestle your thumbs into the breastbone fan the fingers out, a symbol or a gesture of tapping into your divine light and sending it out to brighten the world. One more breath in and out. And then bow your head slightly. Thank yourself for your practice today. And I thank you for the honor in getting to share it with you. Always a pleasure. Namaste.